Hi, welcome to McFly World. I'm your host, Leah McFly, and I have my co-host, Miss Fancy Flo, and this week's topic is the sun. Beautiful sun. I'm here on the rooftop, just enjoying sun gazing, charging my eyeballs and my energy, and we're going to talk more about the benefits. Today I want to talk to you about the benefits of the sun and how important it is to gaze at it, um, the benefits of that, also what we would do without the sun. Because I think if we understand what we would be without it, we'll realize how much we take it for granted and how we should maybe utilize the sun and implement it more in our lives, right? Now, as you can see, I'm wearing yellow. Yellow is representing the sun, and my hair is round like the sun. And for you to, a nice fun fact to start off is the sun is a star, and all the planets revolve around the sun. That's why it's called the solar system, because the sun is the soul of the whole system. You know what I mean? Get it? Yeah. So the sun is the star, which means it's shining and everyone's looking at it and being like, we need you, you support us, right? So what's important to understand is the sun gives us a lot of heat, and with that heat transforms into energy, and that energy is needed for our skin. And for people with my skin tone, which is called melanin, the sun loves it. That's why in Africa you can see people really, really dark. And though we are taught to think that it's a bad thing, it's actually a wonderful thing. Means their body and their DNA is very strong. So those are people that cannot have cancer, because without the sun it gives you cancer. So it's really important that we have this heat and everything is balanced. So as we have the moon that brings the coldness, we have the sun that brings the heat. And the moon is charged by the sun because it's also part of that solar system. So the moon is able to shine because of the energy that the sun gives off. So it's really important that we understand that. Now, let's talk about sun gazing. Usually, when they say it's good to look at the sun for about 1 minute. They say it's not good for your eyes, but I think it's great. And we have to also, think about, maybe if we're not to do a minute, maybe try doing 15 minutes. That's actually the real way to go. But you could take your time and get your eyes adjusted to it. You might blink a lot, but it's okay. And now, when you look at the sun, you get a lot of these like flashes. So what you have to understand is that the colors, it touches all the colors of the spectrum once it's inside. So what ends up happening is you are getting charged, right? So that sun is going all inside of your body, and colors that you don't often see, it's igniting. So you end up becoming way stronger in your energy. And this is something that we're not often taught, but this is also what gives us our superpowers. So also there's a thing called color therapy, so which means color therapy could be, as you can see, like a sunny day to a rainy day does a lot. So a sunny day, it makes you a little more happy. It affects your mood. It makes you more vibrant, gives you more energy to do things, go outside, be active. But when it's raining, we tend to be more sad, more tired, more depressed, more lazy. And it's also for us to learn how we can change these moods. If it's also a rainy day, how could you brighten up your day? But it is something natural that this is what it does to us. It affects our energy. And sun is energy. See how it all comes right back around? So with color therapy, you could also think about the power of these colors, and that could also rejuvenate you. So you have green that is good for the liver, you have red that is good for your kidneys, and then you have the yellow that's good for your heart. So in color therapy, when you're meditating, you can think about these colors, and these colors will kind of lighten up and brighten up your mood. So this is also what is given to people who have a longer sadness or depression in their life, right? Isn't that cool to learn? So having this vitamin D is really powerful, and it also could prevent you from being sick and having osteo. It really moisturizes and gives lubricant to your bones. Without the sun, what are the effects we would have if we didn't have the sun? Well, for one, we would freeze over. It would just be winter all the time and be minus 100, and there would be a lot of life of the animals will slowly die off, because the plants, the animals, and us, we all rely off the energy, which is what we also talked about last week when we spoke about water. So what the sun charges in that food also charges within us. Same thing with the animals that eat the food, it charges also within them. So it's just a beautiful working cycle. And so those are really good things to see, that if we didn't have the sun, it rises every day, but we take it for granted. It also has it always has attention, but we don't always give it the attention. But we always can rely on the sun and the moon to rise. And what if one day it didn't? So as we spoke about the solar system being surrounded by the planets, it always has attention. It always has something looking at it. But do we appreciate it every day? We don't realize how much we do benefit from the sun, because if the sun was not to rise or the moon was not to rise, we would not have something to look forward to, and we would not have the light to light us up and to charge us up. So be very mindful of that. It's also like having a stuffy nose. When you can breathe, you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But then when you can't breathe, you're like, man, I really wish I appreciated when my nostrils were clear. So that's just what it is. Talking about water and life and plants, these are all beautiful things that we have to think about, because it all revolves in a beautiful round circle of life. So I hope you learned something today. I'm going to enjoy basking into the sun and charging up my melanin, and I wish you a great day. Thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, and see you soon. Bye.
The sun is a friend to you and me, providing us all with vitamin D. If your skin is brown and rich with melanin, you'll need extra loving from the sun on your skin. You actually have a special connection. The sun helps our fruits and vegetables grow and is filled with universal light codes. It brings us knowledge from the stars, is friends with Venus, Jupiter, and Mars. It rises in the east and sets in the west. Taking in the sun is simply the best. Make friends with the sun. The sun is our friend. How can we do this? Well, one way is to get up when the sun is rising in the morning and to sun gaze for a few minutes. It gives us amazing light codes from stars up above. Another way is also in the evening when the sun goes down to take a few minutes to gaze at the sun setting. It's really nice. One way to have a great connection with the sun when there is no sun available to us is to take vitamin D, especially vitamin D3. When the sun isn't giving us the nutrients that we need, vitamin D is a good replacement to do so. Even if we do get out in the sun every day, it's still great to have a little bit of vitamin D in our day. The sun downloads universal light codes into our bodies and rejuvenates our skin cells. It's very, very important that you get out into the sun every day if possible for 10 minutes a day. Get that vitamin D. Go sunshine!